Hi Mockingbirds! It is Sunday and I'm in my pajamas and I am excited to do a little bit of a video. So I wanted to thank everyone. I've been getting quite a bit of views. I really appreciate it. I will say that if you could definitely subscribe to my channel and then also hit the thumbs up, that would be great. I just like jumping right in. This one is Boop 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 Boop, A Flood of Creatures by Davlov Ipkar. Davlov Ipkar seems like a pretty cool lady. One connection, which is pretty cool, is that she illustrated a Margaret Wise Brown book, which she is the author of Goodnight Moon, who I know I made fun of. I still hold true, but that book has saved my life because I get to sleep. The Margaret Wise Brown book is Little Fisherman, which is cool. So it's a good connection there. And she can draw humans. I hope that book's about humans because it would be kind of funny if it was actually supposed to be about bunnies and then got someone who could draw humans. Davlov is a really good artist. At 21, she had her first exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art, which is pretty cool. And she has also a couple books herself. I love this front cover. I'm gonna say if this book is not about animal butts, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. But I still love this cover because it's an old lady who's in her bed, and then there's animal butts and a pig nursing, a horse. He's saying, hey, what's going on here? And chickens and roosters, and a little kid being like, what's up, Mom? Oh my God, if I woke up to this in my bedroom, I'd go back to sleep. Take over the house. I don't care. You know, I don't care. I have to deal with poop all day. What's some horse poop? But I'm going back to bed. I'm not sure why little kids' books are always about poor people. But this one's about this old lady who was very poor, but she had a pretty cool house filled with antiques, and she loved living alone, which I feel like this is kind of like a modern day, like, the life of what millennials are going to end up to be today, because it asks, people I guess asked her, like, why don't you get a cat? And she's like, oh, they're scratchy and they're annoying, which I do not disagree with. I do not like cats, mainly because I'm allergic, and I don't think that they exist. But then they're like, why don't you get a dog? Which I do like dogs. But she's like, they're noisy, they bark, and they're just a lot of work. So she just lived alone, and she was happy. The end. She was just happy, living alone. It's funny, one of the things that the book noted specifically is that she does not like animals. And she's dusting a taxidermied owl. I guess she really does not like animals because she has a dead owl in her house. Is it there to remind her of the power she has? She has power over the animal kingdom. Okay, my mind is already running wild. I love this picture. I don't know who it is yet. Is it a lover? Is it her father, that she's heir to all of his riches, but she's not because she's poor? Or did she just get it at a flea market and thought it was pretty cool? If you look closely though, it kind of looks like the mustache is drawn on. So I just imagine that she like drew on the mustache just for her own entertainment. And then also, like, what room are we in? Because this lady seems crazy. what room are we in? Because she has an owl. She has a pitcher. This is a mantle, which I'm assuming is a fireplace, which is usually in the living room. Yet she has a butter churner. Yet she has a butter churner to churn her butter. Oh my god, I hope her house is just pink wallpaper from floor to ceiling, because she lives alone. I can wallpaper my house bright pink of all different patterns. So she wakes up to a whole bunch of hens in her bedroom, which is terrifying. Especially, I would be terrified that if I was living alone, they were there to eat me. And she basically just said, get out of my bedroom, and she threw a pillow at them, which is the correct reaction to waking up to hens in your bedroom. The rooster is crowing and saying, cock-a-roo, roo, roo, roo. The hens also say, cut, cut, cut. That's not what hens say. Cut, cut, cut. That is what a rooster says. Thank you. There is definitely a D in it. This book is what nightmares are made of. She wakes up to hens in her bedroom, and then she goes out of her bedroom, and there are 5 geese in her stairwell, which, let's take note, her living room / churning room, butter churning room, is pink with geometric shapes. Her bedroom is pink with polka dots, and her staircase, her hallway, is yellow but has pink triangle or pink diamonds, which I love her decorations. I love her decor. I also don't think people understand that geese are terrifying. I had a goose chase after me, and it was terrifying. They are mean. They are ugly animals. They are, you appalling, you dirty animals. Yes, they are. That's not mean. That's the truth. So she goes downstairs, and at the bottom of the stairs is a big brown horse, and then she goes into her living room / spinning room / churning butter room, and there's a cow, which is probably drawn to its butter, which, I know that doesn't make sense, but I just have to mention. So we think we might be in the same room as the one before, but if you look at the decor is different. The first one was pink with some yellow accents, and this is pink with a different pattern and some green. And it also has a mantle like in the first one, but I looked at the vases, and the vases don't match up with any of them on the first page. So she has a living room / churning butter room, and now she has a sitting room / churning butter room / spinning wheel room. So this lady loves to churn butter. My question was answered. Before, we were in a separate room with a separate butter churner with the spinning wheel, because this is the same patterns that was from the first room with the dead owl, as you can see. So she has 2 fireplaces, a whole crap ton of vases, 2 butter churners, because that's the most important thing. But anyway, she goes into her parlor. There's a big fat pig who's dirty, and there's a whole bunch of piglets running around. She says, get out. You know what I'll do? I'll sweep you out. Which I'm concerned for these animals, because as we mentioned before, she has a dead owl in her house. She specifically says, I hate animals, and chooses to look at a dead owl every day. She's gonna sweep them out. Animals, you better run. I love her face. That is some good drawing. But she goes into her kitchen, and there are goats on the table. There are sheep everywhere, which not enough sheep butts. There's only 1.5. Okay, two and a half. It's a fine amount of sheep butts, I guess. But she says, I won't have it. No, I won't. I'm going to get my broom, which is the name she calls her shotgun. Not a lot of pink in the kitchen, but still really nice decor. And then she finds a little boy in her other kitchen. I feel like one wall, it was probably the green wallpaper. And she has an accent wall. She is a modern woman. That is this blue. And she's not even fazed by the little boy, which at this point I wouldn't be either. There were chickens in my bed. There was a cow. There were sheep and goats on my other kitchen table. But she is like, what are you doing here, little boy? And he's like, I'm eating oatmeal. And she's like, that's my oatmeal. And why is the cat eating my oatmeal? And why is the dog eating my oatmeal? And why are the chickens eating my oatmeal? Which, lady, that's a lot of oatmeal. You need to cool it on the oatmeal. But then, this is like cataclysmic. The little boy says, it's because it's a flood outside. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's just rain. So she opened the door and a flood comes in. And I love the horse because it said the horse just like stepped out of the way when she hit its butt with a broom. More animal butts. Nice. No, this is the same wallpaper. So she at least chose the same wallpaper for this one wall. But the water is coming in. The animals don't seem fazed because they're in this awesome house. So the lady just locked herself in her bedroom. And the boy was bringing up the horse and the cow, which I don't think the cow's going to be able to get out of the house now. Because I guess cows can't go downstairs. But I just love her face. This would be my face too. And can I just mention one little detail, which is pretty funny. I believe this is probably a chamber pot. Perfect detail. Perfect. So they chased all the animals upstairs to get away from the flood, but the boy saved the oatmeal for everyone to eat. Why is an old lady who lives alone eating so much oatmeal in one day? That's a lot of oatmeal. But she was like, thank you for saving my oatmeal. That is the most important thing. And can we ask, like, does she know this little boy? Or is this just, like, is this little boy just, like, what is he doing? She's not even concerned about this little boy eating her oatmeal. I got my sheep butts. Sheep butts. So she's eating her oatmeal in bed, which, perfect Sunday. And then the boy's like, wouldn't you like some milk with your oatmeal and some eggs? And she's like, I can't afford milk and eggs. But the boy's like, look, there's a cow. I can milk the cow. And look, I guess these chickens had enough time to lay eggs. So you can have some raw eggs in your oatmeal. And the woman is like, oh my God, I didn't know that eggs came from chickens. Like, where do you think eggs come from? Well, she didn't say that. But she was like, oh my God, duh, I can have some eggs. I can have some raw eggs in my oatmeal. So I guess her house is lurching and everyone's falling over, but she saved the oatmeal. That's the most important thing, is the oatmeal. The house is afloat and they're getting swept down the river, and they see all these animals. A big black snake, which I don't know what big black snakes would, where they are, but that's concerning. But they're floating down the river, and the woman's like, don't bring in any more animals. And the boy says, oh, wow, your house floats really well. I'm really glad I'm in it. Which, I feel like this would jog my memory to be like, oh yeah, why were you in my house again? The boy said, I'm hungry, and the woman's like, you can have some cold oatmeal. And the boy's like, I don't like cold oatmeal, which, who likes cold oatmeal? And there's just an awful lot of oatmeal in this book. Like, you don't have anything else in your refrigerator, which I guess she is a single woman. She is a single modern woman. So, no, it's probably wine and ketchup that's in her refrigerator. But the cows and the horse eat it, but the goats don't, because they're eating her chair, which I love the expression on her face where she's like, hey, goats, stop eating my chair. So the house stops and they all fall on each other, which is this is a great picture. It's funny because, so that picture before, they all fell on each other and they were like, oh my gosh, what happened? And then they just like went to bed. They didn't, it says like that they went to bed, and then the next morning they went out and saw that they were on land, but they're just like, well, well, that was a trip. Guess it's bedtime. I'm going to bed. Cow. Don't wait up for me, horse. Uh-oh, this story is now getting real. The woman, or they see a boat in the background, which, good thing. I was concerned for a little bit that everything was lost. Everyone drowned. But the woman's like, oh, look, there's a boat. You can get on it. I would like to get back to my oatmeal and my alone time because I like living alone. And the little boy says, I don't have a family. I can't get on the boat to go to my family. Could I stay with you as long as I can have my cat and my dog? And she's like, oh my, for goodness sakes. Like, this little orphan boy, I can't turn away this little orphan boy in a biblical flood. But she was like, well, the cat's gonna scratch at my furniture and the dog's gonna bark. So, I mean, if that didn't happen, then of course you could stay with me. But it's just the cat and the dog. And he's like, well, my cat doesn't scratch and my dog doesn't bark. So, do I have a home or not? The boat gets closer and they're like, hey, we're rescuing people. And I can just imagine the voice that the old lady is, like her voice in my head that she's yelling at these people. Because she says, we don't want to be rescued. And she says, this is where I live. This is my boy and this is my dog and cat. But you can take the other animals because, to be honest, like, it's way too much. I can't handle the sheep butts in my face 24/7, so please just take the animals away. And then the boat's like, we're just rescuing animals. Bye. So they turn around and leave. So then they have a picnic and they have eggs and cherries for breakfast, which I get the eggs because we're trying to show how useful animals are, that the chicken laid the eggs, but the cherries have nothing to do with animals. But the old woman's like, wow, this is a good breakfast. And I feel like, yeah, it's not oatmeal. There's more food, lady, out there than oatmeal, which they might find out what bacon tastes like pretty darn soon. And then the boy's like, can we keep all the animals? And the woman's like, sure, I like animals too. And then I feel like she'd be like, oh no, what I did to that poor owl. I need to hide that owl. And then they lived all happily ever after. The end. Okay, so this was a cute book. I really liked it a lot. I will say it's entirely too long. It's a lot of words for a children's book, but I really do love the drawings. The old woman's funny. The boy is just a one-dimensional boy, which, whatever. So my rating for this is from 1 to 1,300 sheep butts. It's 15 rooster waddles.